Hi, I'm Lisa. I appreciate you taking the time to join me. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on new content. So today I'm back with a look at Whimsy Stamps ATC Trick or Treat House Stamp Set. This is an awesome stamp set. You can use it for artist trading cards, use it in card making, scrapbooking, so many things that you can do with this stamp set. Now, I want to show you 4 cards because I want you to see how easy this technique is for creating multiples. But if you don't want to do multiples, just go with 1 card base. So the first step is to go ahead and stamp the house image onto 4 110-pound white card bases using black ink. Now, I love this stamp set. I like that the image is a haunted tree house. The large trick-or-treat sentiment is branches from the tree, and everything about this set just plays well together. And do you see those sentiments? Smell my feet, give me something good to eat? I don't know, but I think Frank is going to have a sequel here on the channel real soon. Now, once you're done stamping the house, we're going to go ahead and stamp over that using Whimsy Stamps Tree Silhouette Red Rubber Stamp. We're just using the same black ink. Let's go ahead and set those aside and give them a little bit of dry time. We're going to do some die cutting. Now I'm using the Haunted Graveyard die set. I'm going to do partial die cutting. I only want the trees for this card I'm making today. So I use a little low tack tape to hold that die in place, a small cutting plate lined up over the area that I'm die cutting, and then just run it through the machine. Now partial die cutting is easy if you always remember this one trick. Only apply pressure where you want to cut. Now off screen, I ran that through the machine 3 more times, plus I die cut some bats from the Haunted Graveyard set, and I did some die cutting with a 3.5-inch round die with masking paper. So next, I want to go ahead and do my heat embossing on those die cut pieces. And I'm going to use the word spooky from the Trick or Treat house stamp set we're going to stamp those onto the bottom of that die cut piece. So I'm going to apply my anti-static powder first. Then I'm going to stamp the word using Hero Arts pigment ink. It's unicorn pigment ink. Then I'll apply my Brutus Monroe Alabaster White embossing powder. Now, when you're using the pigment ink, you want to be light-handed with it. It is a sponge applicator, and too much pressure, the entire stamp's going to be covered with white ink. Also, you only need light pressure with this stamp. It's a small stamp, so too much pressure can cause the mushroom effect, which gives you that blurry look when you might get sometimes when you're stamping. We're going to apply the embossing powder, and I always take time to clean off any stray specks of embossing powder from my cardstock before I take and heat set it. So once you're done cleaning off any stray specks, just make sure your heat gun is hot before taking it to the paper. And I'm finding that leaving that cardstock laying flat helps with the warping, but you need to protect your work surface if you're doing that. And I have a silicone mat that I keep down on my desk all the time, and it's heat resistant up to 424 degrees. So once the embossing cools off, we're going to run a rag over it or the tip of our finger to clean off that excess powder. I'm going to come in now with a black pen and color in any white area between the bottom of the stamped image and the top of the die cut piece. I don't want to see any white in between the stamping and the die cutting. So here you can see there's no white showing now. Now we're ready to do some ink blending, and this is my favorite part. I'm going to go ahead and position that round mask over my image. I've laid down a piece of scrap paper underneath my card base so I don't have a big cleanup to do afterwards. I'm going to load my blending brush with Memento Teal Zeal dye ink. And I'm going to start applying this to the edges of the card base. I'm going to start with a heavy pressure around the edges and then lighten that pressure as I move the brush inward, fading the ink out. And once I'm happy with that application, I'm going to come in with the Tuxedo black ink and ink the edges. Now, I really want to darken these edges up. That's what gives it that spooky vibe. So I hold my brush on an angle when applying this black ink, and I'm only hitting the edge of the cardstock. So I will come back in with the Teal Zeal ink one more time. and go over that black ink, and it just helps to blend the black, creating a softer blend. Now, once I'm done with the ink blending, I'm going to go ahead and add white splatters with this cartoonist pen, and I'm just going to tap it on the side of my finger, and it gives the finest splatters. And then we'll go ahead and do the reveal. That's my favorite part when I use masking paper, is the reveal. So you want to be really careful when you're peeling this back. So just kind of pull it back on itself, and you shouldn't have any problems. Just take your time with it, and it should be good to go. And there's our spooky night scene. So you can repeat this step with different colors of ink. It doesn't matter what colors you use, the process is always going to be the same. Now, I do have some samples that I'm going to share with you. I've ended up finishing these off by adding mounting foam to the back of our die cut and embossed trees and adding those to the cards. I did add the bats to my night sky. And on a couple of my cards, I actually came in and added some sequins to that moon as well, just to give it a little bit of shine. Let me know what you think of the ATC Trick or Treat house stamp set in the comments below. And for more information on the products seen in this video, click the links directly below. I appreciate you so much for spending time with me today. And until next time, please take care.